An answer for what would Jess do? So the question is along the lines of, you talk a lot about the copper tongue scraper and coconut oil pulling for oral health and detoxification support. What about preventing cavities and further supporting oral health? Any recommendations? Yes, I do have recommendations. So I absolutely recommend using the copper tongue scraper first thing in the morning when you wake up, and then before bed. And that is to remove a lot of those toxins, but also some of that bacteria that is able to just kind of like make way and make home in your mouth overnight. I also really like to do the oil pulling because anytime we put, pure fat or pure protein into our mouth, we're not necessarily feeding that bacteria. It's when we put any type of carbohydrate. So when we put that oil, it is a pure fat, and it helps to offer, coconut oil offers the antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial properties to help clean the mouth, but also not triggering that like feeding frenzy for the bacteria. Some other things that I recommend is obviously avoiding a lot of processed sugars and added sugars, but even consuming things like dates and fruits, those can get stuck in your teeth, and then that bacteria can keep feeding on it, and that can make you more prone to the cavities. So I am a huge proponent of using a water pick. It's great for, in between meals, or at a minimum, if you don't have access to a water pick, which admittedly, now that I work from home, my oral routine has taken a huge leap forward because of access. But if you're in an office, maybe even just swishing with water, or you might have a bottle of like salt water, diluted salt, so that you can help to get rid of some of that stuff that's in between your teeth. And then of course flossing would be beneficial too. And then another top recommendation is xylitol gum. So the one that I use is Spry, but that's a great one that's readily available. There's also Zellies and some others, but check the ingredients just to make sure that you're not getting a ton of funky ingredients with that as well, with that xylitol. You do want to see that xylitol is the first ingredient. And I learned from my dentist that xylitol, although it is a sugar, it is going to bring the bacteria to eat the sugar, but then once the bacteria eats it, I believe it breaks the cell membrane, if I recall correctly, which then pretty much kills the bacteria. So it's not able to create that feeding frenzy or kind of that like acid attack that occurs when we consume more of those sugars, and then that weakens our teeth. So those are some recommendations for oral health. I will have more oral health tips to come. I strongly encourage you, if you have not looked into working with a holistic dentist or a dentist who specializes in biological dentistry, to check it out and see if there's one near you. A lot of times they are going to be out of pocket, but then you get reimbursed from insurance and they give you a claim form. So it's worthwhile. They are very conservative, and they don't focus on, drilling into your teeth unless they really have to. So they also believe that you can reverse cavities, and I personally have reversed a couple small cavities. So it is a great approach, and it's very aligned with my philosophy and just kind of way of life. So if that's something that you think you would be interested in, check it out, and I will include a resource for you to utilize. But copper tongue scraper, oil pulling, floss or rinse your mouth or use a water pick after eating, and then check out the xylitol gum, which I will also link for you. And I hope that you feel like you have fresh breath and a clean mouth. Keep those cavities away. Enjoy the rest of your day.